Now at 6, UW-Madison's chancellor is asking students to drastically limit their in-person interactions amid a spike in coronavirus cases. And Wisconsin sees visits from Vice President Pence and Democratic Vice Presidential candidate Kamala Harris.
This is News 3 Now at 6.
Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Stanford. The message to UW-Madison undergraduate students tonight: stop face-to-face socializing. A new 2-week directive is officially in place for undergrads after a letter sent out from Chancellor Rebecca Blank today. Madeline O'Neill is live on campus this evening with what that means and how students are reacting. Maddie?
Well, starting today and for the next 2 weeks, the chancellor is calling on undergraduate students to severely limit their movement and in-person interactions. In the letter, the chancellor says data links a recent rise in COVID-19 cases with social gathering where there isn't proper social distancing or mask wearing. The letter is directing undergrad students to only leave their residence for essential activities. That's defined as things like in-person classes, studying, buying food, working, getting medical care, personal exercise, or attending a religious observance. We spoke with a few undergrad students who are concerned about the parties they've seen in dorms and near campus and are asking fellow students to follow the directive to keep campus open.
Ideally, everyone would follow it, and I feel like I will do my best, but with what I've seen so far, I'm concerned about how those restrictions would be enforced.
These restrictions do not apply to graduate students, faculty, or staff, with Chancellor Blank writing that they see little evidence of infection among those populations. The letter says UW will continue to hold students accountable for their decisions both on and off campus, which could even include emergency suspension. Chris.
All right, Madeline O'Neill reporting live on campus. Thanks, Maddie. UW System Interim President Tommy Thompson says today's decision is inconvenient but necessary. In a statement this afternoon, Thompson said, like other universities throughout the nation, UW-Madison is taking aggressive actions to adapt to the circumstances informed by its testing strategies. Thompson says the system will continue to work with all of its campuses to address specific circumstances as they arise. In response to rising numbers of COVID-19 cases among college students, a popular State Street sports bar and restaurant is temporarily closing. State Street Brats announced this morning that it's closing until further notice. The bar is a popular place for college students to hang out, and officials worry places like State Street Brats could help spread COVID-19 in the area. The owners of the State Street Brats says that they hope to reopen as soon as they can. 7-day average of COVID-19 cases in Wisconsin is trending upward. However, the percentage of positive cases has dropped to about 10% after briefly spiking to over 16%. About 600 more people in the state have tested positive within the last day or so. One more person has died in the state. That brings the total to 1,172 COVID-related deaths. Across the country, health officials are warning Labor Day celebrations could lead to a spike in coronavirus cases. More than 189,000 people have died in the U.S., and a new model used by the White House predicts that number could double by the end of the year if preventative measures aren't kept in place. Officials say that spread is happening at more intimate gatherings like backyard barbecues. Americans are urged to wear a mask and keep physical distance, even with friends and family who do not already live with you. Health officials are also concerned about widespread protests having the potential to spread the disease. All right, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti on that cooler weather. Hey, Gary.
Hi, Chris. Well, it is cooler today. A lot of that has to do with cloud cover and the wind shift to the north, but it'll be even chillier as rain moves in. You can see those clouds really starting to thicken up back toward the Twin Cities and Eau Claire. We've had hazy sunshine for much of the day today and no rain across southern Wisconsin, but there are some light rain showers up into northern and central Wisconsin. This area will kind of fill in between that and some thunderstorms farther to the south. Temperatures right now are in the upper 50s around the Dells and areas northward, lower 60s here in Madison, middle 60s down towards Janesville and the Illinois state line. But look for those temperatures to drop into the middle 50s by midnight with rain starting, and then we'll see off and on rain and maybe even a couple of thunderstorms mixed in. Tomorrow will be a windy and chilly day. A high temperature at 54. Those temperatures will stay nearly steady in the low to mid 50s from tonight all the way through tomorrow and tomorrow night. Later on, I'll take a look at a forecast. It does give us at least a little bit of a break in the wet weather toward the end of the week.
All right. Thanks, Gary. As if there was any doubt, both political parties are making it clear Wisconsin is a must-win state in the 2020 presidential election. Vice President Mike Pence and Democratic Vice Presidential nominee Kamala Harris both stopped in the state today.
Well, hello, Wisconsin.
Vice President Pence stopping in La Crosse today, making a speech at Dairyland Power Cooperative. He discussed reopening the nation's economy following the shutdown earlier this year and pushed for kids to return to in-person learning. He also defended law enforcement and criticized protesters for focusing on rioting and looting seen in Kenosha and Madison.
And this violence against civilians, against property, and against law enforcement must stop, and it must stop now.
The vice president says during President Trump's potential second term, police departments would not be defunded. On the other side of the state, Democratic vice presidential nominee Senator Kamala Harris traveled to Milwaukee. There she met with the family of Jacob Blake. A Kenosha police officer shot Blake 7 times in the back. Blake's paralyzed from the waist down, still in the hospital. Harris says she told Blake's family they have her support.
I mean, they're an incredible family, and what they've endured, and they just do it with such dignity and grace. And, you know, they're carrying the weight of a lot of voices on their shoulders.
Harris also met with union leaders at an IBEW training facility. Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden says he'll make stops following the Labor Day weekend. President Trump has rallies scheduled this week in North Carolina and Michigan. This Labor Day, more than 680,000 people are still waiting for their unemployment offices to process their claims. Jamie Perez shares how a day that is supposed to celebrate the American worker now has us looking at a number of people out of work. Jamie?
Well, everyone who is struggling right now is just trying to figure out how to make their dollars stretch for months while they wait for the unemployment office to process their claims. Today, I spoke to a man in Baraboo who said after months of waiting, he was denied his unemployment for something that he says was out of his control. Charles Ormond has never let the odds stop him from doing what he wants to do.
You know, people tell me there's something I can't do. I show them that I can still do it.
In 1995, Ormond was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. He's been wheelchair-bound ever since. But it still hasn't stopped him from doing what he's wanted for the last 2 decades.
They told me I'd never be able to have kids, and my daughter's 20 now. And they told me I'd be in a wheelchair in 3 years, and we're coming up on 25.
Then the pandemic hit, and the odds stacked against him. He ended up in the unemployment line along with millions of others.
It registers pretty close to me because it's actually happening to me.
Ormond lost his job working part-time at a water park. He applied for unemployment, but because of his disability and the fact that he can't work full-time.
I then got a letter in the mail that the benefits were being withheld because I cannot collect unemployment and disability because it's considered double dipping.
With nearly $1,200 in monthly expenses and $5,000 in medical bills.
It's frustrating. It's just beyond the pale.
He says he's reached out to explain his situation, hoping the unemployment staff will put themselves in his shoes. But he said the wait is just as bad as it was months ago.
The last time it was 21 days, it turned out to be 2 months.
He said someone in the office claimed he was denied for giving a wrong address.
I did not give you the wrong address. Well, yes, sir, you did. You didn't give us your right address, that's why. And I'm like, well, you have no problem sending me denial letters to my right address.
Ormond said he's going in circles, explaining why he can't take a full-time job and why he can't work just anywhere.
Yeah, I've had people tell me I should apply at McDonald's, that they're hiring. Well, there's really no room for a wheelchair back there.
Ormond is now left waiting, like millions of others, hoping he can beat these odds too.
I feel terrible because now I have to live in the system that I was trying to stay out of.
Ormond said somebody from the DWD will be calling him to try to investigate his case, but he really wanted to share this story to get the message out to the unemployment office to please expedite the process that has been impacting thousands of people.
All right, Jamie Perez, thank you for that report. Protests in response to the killing of black people by police continue across the country. The Madison protest today is trying to shine light on another issue when it comes to being black in America, and that's education. A Black Education Matters rally was held this afternoon at Penn Park on the city's south side. People gathered to raise awareness about the disparities children of color face while in school. Organizers were collecting school supplies and food donations. They want to make sure every kid is ready to start this year.
Just want to rally as many parents together and students together to just let them know that they're supported and that they're cared for.
Organizers usually hold a back-to-school bash over Labor Day weekend, but decided with recent events, a rally like this was more effective. Also part of the event, free haircuts for students to make sure they look their best on the first day of class. Vernie Nichols' House of Beauty teamed up with the rally to give kids a fresh cut. Stylists have been working this event for years to help kids out. The salon owner, Vernie Nichols, says that a haircut can help give kids confidence.
The way that you feel on the inside builds you up, and it shows on the outside eventually.
They weren't able to help out as many kids this year because of the pandemic, but they said that they're doing their best to help everyone in need. 2 people in the hospital this evening following a motorcycle crash in Stoughton. Stoughton police say around 7 o'clock last night, a 45-year-old man was riding on a motorcycle with a 10-year-old girl. They hit a parked car in this subdivision near Kaganza Elementary School. Police say they were not wearing helmets. Officers are investigating. Labor Day marks the end of a summer filled with demonstrations throughout Madison. Coming up, why some downtown businesses are struggling to repair the damage left behind after some of those protests turned destructive.
Fry Construction is celebrating their 25-year anniversary, which means big savings on home repairs and improvements. No job is too small or too big, and your safety is always our concern. Respected in the industry and voted Best of Madison, Fry Construction delivers lasting quality for your home. And now, for a limited time, save 25% off gutters or insulation with a full roof, siding, or window project, all with 0 down, 0% interest for 12 months. Contact Fry Construction today.
It's easy to update your home at the Brothers Maine Labor Day Super Sale. Saving is easier on tons of great brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and Amana. And Maine makes getting more easier with up to 18 months of 0% financing. Want even more easy? Select items include free delivery through Monday. That's the More Store. The Labor Day Super Sale. More selection, more savings, and more easy. Hurry in and see today at the Brothers Maine, your local store for more since 1938.
If I'm your president, on day 1, we'll implement the national strategy I've been laying out since March. We'll develop and deploy rapid tests with results available immediately. We'll make the medical supplies and protective equipment that our country needs. We'll make them here in America. We'll have a national mandate to wear masks, not as a burden, but as a patriotic duty to protect one another. In short, we'll do what we should have done from the very beginning. Our current president has failed in his most basic duty to the nation. He's failed to protect America. And my fellow Americans, that is unforgivable. As president, I'll make you a promise. I'll protect America. I will defend us from every attack, seen and unseen, always, without exception, every time. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
It has been 4 months since protests began, and Madison has taken on a new look. Most doors and windows are boarded up to prevent damage. Tahalil Mohaldin visited local businesses to hear their concerns about insurance coverage.
Obviously, it is a very isolating situation.
Insurance companies are complicating the rebuilding process for damaged State Street businesses.
Our representative probably has a lot on his plate right now.
Businesses that have been damaged more than once may even have multiple deductibles. One owner explains why he's waiting until winter to file a claim.
To make sure that we don't have to file multiple claims and have our premium go up.
Insurance representatives say the frequency and severity of break-ins will put businesses at risk of losing their contracts. Many stores are missing the compensation from insurers they would have received from filing a claim.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too. This leaves business owners feeling worried about the future.
I am a little concerned about damage being done again, but obviously there is a bigger issue going on in this nation, and I'm trying to keep focused on the more important message.
Despite these concerns, he feels support from the Madison community.
I feel really lucky. It is very family-esque down here, and I feel really fortunate to be part of that.
In Madison, Tahlil Muhaddin, News 3 Now.
Rainier says Madison's Business Improvement District is working closely with local businesses to repair damages. Many Madison residents have also offered up their help by cleaning up broken glass and boarding up windows. All right, stick with us. More to come here on News 3 Now at 6. A state of emergency in California. We'll have an update on wildfires raging across the state. And it was feeling like fall out there today, wasn't it? If we will break out of this cooler stretch of weather, Gary's also timing out our rain chances.
Wow, is that really me?
Here, I don't look 61 in 3 weeks. I have no wrinkles, no bags, and this is only because of Plexiderm.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Who am I? I'm just in love with the mirror right now.
Plexiderm is a wonderful product. I look at least 10 years younger.
It's a facelift in a jar.
The people you're watching have just seen themselves in the mirror for the first time since we applied Plexiderm to their problem areas. Their reactions are real, and so are the results from using Plexiderm. What's even more amazing is that it takes less than 10 minutes. Now you can watch your under-eye bags, wrinkles, and crow's feet visibly disappear for just $14.95 by going to plexidermtrial.com and taking the Plexiderm 10-minute challenge.
I'm Neela. I'm 61 years old. I'm a professional personal trainer. It's so important to be in good health and to be fit and take care of yourself. How it makes you feel inside is amazing. And yet, when you look in the mirror, what you see necessarily isn't what you feel inside. Plexiderm, seriously, it fixes all that. It makes you feel as good outside as you do inside. Honest to God, it's amazing. There's nothing there. Like, the bags are gone.
This is really good. This is, I'm going to fill my bathtub with this stuff and get the whole body this time. All these lines are gone. I feel like a new woman.
The instant results are from naturally based silicates found in shale clay. Once applied, your skin tightens and firms, rapidly reducing the appearance of under-eye bags, wrinkles, and crow's feet. At our $14.95 price, it's the best time to try Plexiderm and see it work for yourself. So if under-eye bags make you look tired and older, take the Plexiderm 10-minute challenge today for only $14.95. Just go to plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
A job's about a lot more than a paycheck. It's about your dignity. Under my plan, 50% of emergency small business relief would be reserved for the smallest businesses to recover from the economic mess we're in and to rebuild the economic future our country deserves. Building wealth for families of color. Building a future worthy of their courage and their ambition. Just imagine if we could truly unleash their full potential. I'm confident we can do this. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
California's governor has declared a state of emergency in at least 5 counties as multiple wildfires continue to burn. 24 major wildfires are tearing across California this evening from San Bernardino County to San Diego to the San Francisco Bay Area. The Creek Fire in the Sierra National Forest near Mammoth Lakes has already burned nearly 80,000 acres or 121 square miles. Several structures are destroyed. Hundreds were forced from their homes.
It was the fastest growing fire I had ever even heard of, let alone seen. It was amazing.
In San Bernardino County, officials say the El Dorado fire started because of fireworks set off during a gender reveal photo op on Saturday. 3,000 people are under evacuation orders. A smoke advisory is in place in many areas. Officials are warning that people who start fires due to negligence or illegal activity can be held criminally and financially responsible.
Well, it's been dry around here. In fact, parts of the Midwest are actually in moderate to slight drought conditions, but that will change because we've got rain on the way. 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Rain will begin tonight and pretty much run through Wednesday night before it becomes a little more iffy in nature as we head toward Thursday and Friday. It'll also be windy and unseasonably chilly. Temperatures will pretty much be between about 50 and 55 degrees beginning later tonight and lasting all the way through Wednesday night. We'll get back into the low 60s on Thursday. And then Thursday and Friday will still be mainly cloudy, but at least the rain chances will go down for a couple of days. There's still a chance for rain both Friday and Saturday, or Thursday and Friday, but at this point it looks like it'll be much more iffy than the next couple of days. Over the last 36 hours, we had showers and thunderstorms develop late Saturday night and into Sunday morning that dumped 1 to 3 inches of rain in parts of southwestern Wisconsin. General ½ inch to 1 inch of rain from Madison south and west, and And then north and east of Madison, very little in the way of rain, which is good news. That's the area that didn't need the rain. Southwestern Wisconsin needed it the most. But you can see there were parts of Iowa that picked up 3 to 5 inches of rain. That's way too much, and unfortunately, there's more on the way. Right now, the rain is north of us. Some light showers through central Wisconsin back into central Minnesota. This area will fill in, though, over the next few hours, and we'll see widespread rain beginning later tonight. Computer model forecast through Thursday morning from FutureTrack shows about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of rain, but some areas could pick up over 2 inches, especially down toward the Illinois state line, where a couple of thunderstorms would be a little bit more likely. But as we take a look at FutureTrack, you can see how this rain area kind of fills in overnight. Showers, perhaps some isolated thunderstorms. Those will continue through tomorrow into tomorrow night. And notice that brisk northeasterly wind flow. Now, the question on later Wednesday night and Thursday is whether or not we see a wind shift to the south that would warm us up a little bit and maybe push this rain farther to the north as we head later into the day on Thursday. So that's Wednesday night, and you can still see some showers around, but it may start lifting that rain up to the north as we head into Thursday and Friday. Meanwhile, the tropics are heating up again. There's an area of potential development off of the Bermuda, but notice Tropical Storm Paulette and now Tropical Storm Renee in the central and eastern Atlantic. Good news there. Looks like those storms will not affect the United States. As we take a look at futurecast for tomorrow, high of 54, expect rain, maybe an isolated thunderstorm. It'll be windy and those temperatures staying nearly steady in the middle 50s. Notice the rainfall amounts again through Thursday morning, about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. Some areas could pick up over 2 inches if you get caught under a heavier thunderstorm. A bit of a break Thursday and Friday, showers and perhaps a few thunderstorms Saturday, and then mainly dry weather next week as temperatures return back into the lower to middle 70s. We'll be right back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Lawless criminals terrorize Kenosha. Joe Biden takes a knee. Biden and the radical left's weak response has led to chaos and violence, and their calls for defunding police would make it worse. President Trump is making it stop, sending National Guard and federal law enforcement to protect Wisconsin's families. Communities, not criminals. Jobs, not mobs. Strong leadership when America needs it most.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Replacing your windows with Renewal by Andersen is easy. We're here when you need us, and we'll work with you the way you want. We can inspect your windows from the exterior of your home. And when it's time to install your new windows, we complete most jobs in as little as 1 day, minimizing the amount of time in your home. Our teams take health and safety seriously. It's the kind of experience you've come to expect from the Renewal by Andersen name, and the promise you deserve with our signature service.
It's Steinhaffel's biggest Labor Day sale ever. Save 35 to 65% store-wide, plus incredible specials priced to sell out, like any size Sealy, $99. Save over $1,800 on this 2-piece sectional with free ottoman, priced to sell out, $799. Plus amazing deals on all of our dining and bedroom furniture. Get special financing for 60 months and free in-carton shipping. Steinhaffel's has the largest selection of quality furniture and mattresses, and it's all on sale during Steinhaffel's biggest Labor Day sale ever.
At Papa Murphy's, we knead seriously, chop seriously, and shred seriously. Because we're serious about Tuesdays, even if you're not. Every Tuesday, get a large pizza for just $10. Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
The chief actuary of the Social Security Administration just released an analysis of Trump's planned cuts to Social Security. Under Trump's plan, Social Security would become permanently depleted by the middle of calendar year 2023. If Trump gets his way, Social Security benefits will run out in just 3 years from now. Don't let it happen. Joe Biden will protect Social Security.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Patty says temperatures are going to start dropping in a hurry. She'll tell us when we'll need to start grabbing the sweaters. And it's a virtual start to the school year for kids in Madison. We'll answer your questions live with Superintendent Carlton Jenkins. Breaking news into the Channel 3000 Alert Center. Broadhead High School will completely go virtual for at least 2 weeks after an outbreak was reported by the Greene County Public Health Department. So far, 7 students have tested positive. We have more on channel3000.com right now. And you can always get the updates tonight on News 3 Now at 10. The number of air travelers, meantime, going into the Labor Day holiday weekend set a new pandemic-era high. The Transportation Security Administration says it screened nearly 1 million people on Friday. That is below the year before, when the agency saw 2.2 million people. New numbers show the U.S. airline industry is still struggling, though. Experts don't expect to see last year's passenger volumes return before 2023.
But at this point in time, I think many of the majors have gotten enough liquidity that we can withstand for a period of time, certainly through next year.
American Airlines recently announced it will lay off or involuntarily furlough 19,000 workers by October 1st unless Congress provides more aid. In July, United Airlines warned that 36,000 employees, or nearly half of its frontline workforce, could be furloughed this fall. With so many people staying home, online searches for fire pits have doubled. But before you break out the marshmallows, the folks at Consumer Reports say a few precautions can go a long way. Madeline O'Neill reports.
Gathering around a fire is the perfect summer into fall activity. It's festive, fun, and relatively inexpensive. But every year, more than 5,000 people end up in the emergency room with fire pit or outdoor heater-related injuries. The experts at Consumer Reports share some fire pit safety tips to prevent those accidents from happening.
Ideally, you want to place your fire pit or chimney away from any structures, your house, any sheds, anything that could possibly burn. Go at least 10 feet away and preferably up to 25 feet.
Raising your fire pit off the ground is ideal, but be sure to follow the maker's instructions about how high it should be and what surfaces can be underneath.
You want to keep the fire away from anything natural that can burn, trees, bushes, and so forth. Clear overhead so the smoke can rise up. Keep in mind, you don't need a spark to start a fire. If brush is dry and brittle enough, the heat alone can ignite it.
CR says different types of wood create different types of fires. Avoid softer woods like pine or cedar because they tend to smoke and spark. Instead, choose woods that burn longer like hickory, oak, or ash.
And the best thing about hickory is it has that wonderful campfire smell.
Once you've got a crackling fire, place a spark screen on top of the pit and keep a garden hose nearby to handle anything that gets out of control. When it's time to call it a night, spread out the coals, ash, and any unburnt logs in the thinnest layer possible. Then set your garden hose nozzle to a wide spray and saturate the area until the embers die. This is Madeline O'Neill for Consumer Reports.
Consumer Reports says unless you're too far away from a hose and there's no alternative, never use a bucket of water to put out a fire. Dumping water on a wood-burning fire forms a hard crust on top, which can leave hot coals still burning underneath. Well, fire sounds really good this evening, Gary.
Yeah, but outside, I don't think it's going to do very much good, especially later on tonight when the rain starts. So far, everything's staying up to the north of us, but over the next maybe 5 to 6 hours, we'll see rain start spreading into much of southern Wisconsin. And through early Thursday morning, we're probably looking at a good 1 to 1.5 inches of rain, good soaking rain for much of southern Wisconsin, maybe some 2-inch amounts down toward the Illinois state line. Temperatures right now in the upper 50s to lower 60s. Look for rain tomorrow. Temperatures only between about 50 and 55 all day.
All right, thanks, Gary. Thanks for watching, folks. Join us at 10.